Okay, you all. It's it's sitting with wisdom today. Back to sitting with wisdom. So let me tell you something. It's about 50 something degrees, and to an island girl, it's freezing. Anything under 70 is freezing, okay? In case, you people didn't know. But anyway, one of the things that I learned that I wanted to share with you all was the ability to be able to stand for who you are, truly stand with that, regardless, right? Like right now, I am in California, go property claim specialist, and prayers for this community. Incredible. The amount of resources and all the different things that are going on. And I'm so grateful to see a world that comes together to help those in need. Yesterday, I was part of Spectacular Smith as a volunteer, and just so many resources, so many people that gave. We had so much to give, a lot more to give than people that showed up to receive those blessings, right? But as I was there, I spoke to a family. I spoke to a dear family, and I'm not going to disclose her name, but this family lost 3 homes, okay? They lost 3 homes, they lost everything. And they come from a family of contractors. And this is the reason why I decided to do this video, because there was so much that we impacted with this woman, that about her family and what they went through during the Altadena, the Eaton fire, right? So they were taken. One of the things that she shared with us, and I will put some of those clips in here without disclosing her name, and she's good with it. Like, we taped her saying these things, and she's good, gave us permission, saying. And then some of the things that I spoke to her, she also recorded it and then sent me the audio of it. But one of the things that we spoke about is what happened after the fire. So she said she was taken to a shelter where it was just a room with 350 people and their animals and everything else. And it was just such an, she was grateful to be there, right? This was a place where it was a shelter away from everything that is happening as is happening. So you imagine that. Imagine as you're driving through your neighborhood and there's nothing but a big fog of smoke. And you're seeing your property, your neighbor's property, the street over, and you're seeing just structures engulfed and they're being taken out late at night. Okay, imagine that, right? And of course, a shelter is an opportunity for you to be able to be grateful that you have a place that is safe away from what is happening. This was very different than someone that's going through a hurricane. I've been working claims 37 years, and fires, they just happen, right? Like the people of Paradise, if you look at that documentary, they just happen. There's not an opportunity for them to be warned that this is happening. The same with an earthquake, right? But a hurricane, you are given time to leave, right? And even during the fire, I spoke to a man that he was asked to leave 3 times his home by the police, and then finally he went across the street where there was a park, and that's where he stayed until they allowed him to come back home. Like, why? This man could have lost his life. And even if you have no insurance, like, it's not that serious a structure against your life. It's not. I don't, want to, like, you may totally disagree with me, but that's how I believe. Like, I treasure human life. Like, what is it in us that does not value our lives? Where the stuff is more important than our lives, where relationships are more important than our lives, where money, I'm sorry, is more important than our relationships. Like, that is not okay. The stuff is not more important than these relationships. Right now, I am going through so many different transitions in my life, but something that has come up is my space. Like, right now, I'm really grateful to God for being able to have this vehicle. I have a rental right now. I live between Florida and Northern California for the past 4 years because I was working Paradise and I was working the CCU and the LNU, those disasters, right? I'm a public insurance adjuster, and those disasters happen in the north. And I have 6 grandkids that are in the north, and they're about 30 minutes from Sacramento, and my office is about an hour and a half from Sacramento. So that was perfect for me, right? But when I came to work this disaster, grateful to come back to California. I was telling my business partner, Minerva, I was saying, look, I'm just so grateful to be able to come back to Southern California. I lived here almost 20 years. I'm so grateful to come back to Southern California from a place of empowerment. It is hard when you go through a divorce. Let me tell you, it is hard. It is hard because the dream that you thought was supposed to work did not work. It did not work, you all. No matter what I say, God has been good, and He has been faithful, and He has beyond blessed my life. But let me tell you, when I left in 2004, Southern California, it was not an easy journey. It was hard, you all. It was hard to leave. I was a single mama with 4 beautiful humans. My oldest was 13, my youngest was 4. I had 2 boys and 2 girls, and for many years, for many, many years, that relationship was over. I stayed in the relationship, as my pastor's wife then, Sister Mary Lou Aldaco, she said, honey, God's gonna give you an award, a trophy in heaven that He never meant to give you. Honey, I don't know the leadership and what they've been telling you, but God doesn't want you in this marriage. This man has been with other women for how many years? How many diseases have you had? Oh, sweetheart, no. Grateful to God that I didn't have, something horrible like AIDS that could have alter and change the rest of my life or taken my life, right? Like, this man did not want to be in this marriage, and he said it, he showed it. I continue to pray, fast, and believe God, and the answer was divorce. That was a hard pill to swallow. That was hard. That was very hard for me to swallow. I did not want to accept it. I did not. And sometimes the best answer that God can give us is no. No, I'm not restoring that marriage. I'm not restoring the relationship. I'm not restoring the business. No, do not go that way. I'm going to take you through bankruptcy. I'm going to take you through not having anything right now that you consider dear, because I have something different for your life. Like God had another plan for me, but I was not willing. I was scared. I was frightened to sit by myself and accept the fact that my marriage was over. It took me years to accept that my marriage was over. I did not want to accept that. I did not. And no matter what I saw or my ex-husband did, it's not his fault. He was clear by his behavior and his actions. He was clear that he was not committed to this relationship. Our children, I joke around right now and I say our children are 3 years apart because I will get pregnant. He will leave for 2 years. He will come back. I believed the nonsense. During those 2 years, I prayed, believed God, kept busy. I welcome all kinds of people into my space, into our home, to be able and live to a people trying to help them and fix their situation and be there for them. And it became a ministry that I had during the time that we were not together, because I did not want to accept. I did not want to feel. I wanted to keep my life busy and involved where I did not have an opportunity to sit alone in the mess. And when we don't sit alone in the mess, we continue to create the mess because we don't get to know ourselves and what we need to do to be able to change the situation. See, I continued in the same relationship. Same guy, just a different name. I did not feel worthy to have a man that could love me and walk this journey of life with me. I did not, because I was a broken, hurting individual. I was codependent. I had all kinds of issues. Yeah, I was sober by God's grace. I was already sober. When I'm talking to you right now about those times, it was after 1991. I gave my life to the Lord in 1991. I was married in 89. And the first 2 years, I was no different than my ex-husband. Just cheating and lying and conniving and drugging and drinking and partying and doing all the things. I became a Christian in 1991 by God's grace. And I became a Christian, and that's going to be a story for a different day. But I became a Christian on November 16th, 1991. My ex-husband was incarcerated. He was in a federal prison looking, by God's grace, into 3 years. And God, just God, allowed him to come home. And I stayed faithful to that man during that time and all through those years after my conversion, but only because of the Christ in me. But I did not want to feel. I did not want to accept the fact that I had no boundaries, that I allowed my past from abuse to make the choices that I had made. I had abuse in my life from the age of 3 to the age of 13. Physical, sexual, a lot of abuse, right? My dad died when I was 3. My mom went to New York. We were left in the Dominican Republic with family, and a lot went on there. I saw a lot, experienced a lot, and I'm grateful for every one of those experiences. But because of that, I allow that to define my life. Not today. Not today. My past is my past, and I've forgiven those people, and I have learned the value that I bring to the table. I have. That's why for me, it's natural to become an advocate for people and stand in the gap between them and the insurance company. Because that's what I needed, right? That's what I needed as a little girl. And that's how I felt, that I needed someone big to actually fight for me and stand for my rights. And that's what I feel that I bring to the table. But as of recent, just in this space where I'm at, I had to be able to stand up for myself. So my business partner and I, this is a new relationship. I'm working with my best friend, and a lot of working through a lot of different things. We're two different people. She is someone that in the beginning I helped train in the business, and eventually she set up her own company in 2007, Property Claim Specialist, and I don't have that company today, right? We have a partnership of 50-50 in this company, and we're awaiting to set up a new corporation under both of our name that is new, right? Because she's had this company since '07, but this is the company that's licensed right now. And I am someone that, excuse me, have built different businesses. I think and walk totally different than she does. And we're working through a lot of those things. But one of the things in the beginning that I had to stand up for myself, because although I am a badass, that's my one word that I curse. So if you are not okay with that one word, maybe this is not your channel. I love Jesus and I still say that one word. I am a badass as far as business building, but I have a certain amount of risk that I'm definitely very comfortable with. She's not. So in the beginning, it was difficult to say, I need my own car. I had a life-death experience in working claims in Key West right after the hurricane in Florida. And someone tried to commit suicide, and I was trauma-hacked. I was down with injuries 5 years, and it was just a horrible accident. This man just came out of nowhere late at night and decided to turn his wheel towards me and try to kill me and kill himself as we're coming down from the bridge from Key West. And it's a 1 lane in and 1 lane out. So I just had to sit there and wait for the impact. I literally saw Jesus. And because of that accident, I don't let that define me. No, not at all. The Lord allowed that accident to actually allow me to write my book, Gratitude Transformation. I lost my life so I could learn to live. And it's a journey of just my life and my experience and what gratitude has done. And I'm grateful for that man. I hope that he is in heaven. I hope so. He eventually took his life. Eventually, 2 weeks later, and that's all documented in my book, 2 weeks later, same accident, same place, against a truck, a 16-wheeler, and he died on the impact. That's what he was looking for. And very, very sad, right? But I have a lot of trauma from that accident that I still need to work through. And my friend has a fast sports car, and she is a crazy driver. She's been a crazy driver all of her life, and very uncomfortable for me the first month because we're starting all over and we want to be able to build a company that is debt free, and that is difficult when you are just starting with new work. So For the first month, I drove with her and literally prayed prayers constantly and was very stressed because just on her phone and driving fast. And this is Southern California, and we're looking to figure out where we're going and what we're doing and calling all kinds of people. And it was just a lot. And I went home and I was able to get clarity around standing up for myself and setting up boundaries. And I said, I'm sorry, but I need to be able to have a rental car. I have to. And I stood up for myself and I said, I need that to be able to show up for myself and have the clarity. And it's so funny how things work because she said to me, she said, I really love that you have a car. I love that you have a car because you drive me around. And hopefully, I'm not driving her crazy, right? But she goes, I don't like the way you drive because I am a very cautious driver. I'm not going to say I drive like an old lady, but I'm very cautious. And I hold on to the wheel. And yeah, I am extremely cautious as a driver now. So totally different than before. And she says, I don't like the way you drive, but I do like the fact that you're driving me. But that all came out of me standing up for myself, out of me saying, hey, this is what I need. The next thing I explained to her that's coming, and I said, we need to make sure that we're ready, is because, and I'm there now. I'm going to the Dominican Republic in a few days to my niece's wedding. Shout out to Emily and Kyle. Congrats. And I'm going to their wedding and I'm excited about that. I then get to make the decision whether I'm going to go to Squad Up Summit or not. That's my mastermind. And I love PACE and I love being part of Owners Club. And I love everything that community has put into my life. I love how Pace Morby is just a giver. I love all that. But I'm not sure that this is the time for me to take a week off and go to Squad Up Summit. I don't know that this is what I need for my sanity. I'm going to see. I'm trusting God that the Lord continues to open doors for work for us and for us to be able to help more people and be able to justify the time off. Because what I really need is I need to be able to look for a place to live, to be on my own, to have sanity. Because when you are spending 24/7, like right now, we are in LA and we are in a beautiful space. I'm just so grateful to Jassy and Diane. If you either one of you watches this video, I just want you to know that I'm so grateful for both of you opening your home to us and being able to create a place where I feel loved and accepted. Thank you so, so much. But in able for me to thrive, I need to be alone. I'm an introvert at heart. I show up as an extrovert. I show up when I am around other people. I have no problems just showing up and being able to make connections and being that extrovert, right? I have tons of charisma. I can light up a space. I can, but it's because of the introvert part of me, the part that needs to be alone, the part that needs to be quiet, the part of me that needs desperately to have her own space, to be able to just think and be clear. I don't watch the news. I don't like noise. Like if I have worship music, that's great. I love being able to listen to a good preaching, an audible, a book or a course or anything like that. But I also need that time to meditate, to pray, to journal, to be alone in my thoughts, to be able to plan ahead. So that's important to me, extremely important to me. And being able to be able to build a business and be able to help as many people as we possibly can to collect all of their money from their insurance company. I need to be able to have my own space. I need to be able to just be by myself. And that's hard because this is LA. This is Southern California. And my business partner, she looks at every cent, and she is very frugal, and I'm grateful to God for that, because she brings a side of me that actually balances me out, and that's a wonderful thing. God somehow has allowed me to have that in my life, people that ground me. And she looks at the numbers, and she's concerned about expenses and the income that's coming in, but being able to build a business. And sometimes you need expenses that are needed. And I feel as if housing right now is the next right step for me, and it is an expense that's needed. And that's a conversation that I get to have. And I'm not looking forward to having it. It's not a comfortable conversation. Money never is. When the money is funny, right? And you're just looking to do right by God, right by other people, and be able to show up. But I have to show up for myself. So that is my wisdom for today. As I sit here, I wanted to make sure that I feel that this is not just YouTube, right? YouTube is making it easy for small channels like myself. And if you decide that, this spoke to me, and you want to be part of this channel, you want to subscribe, if you stay this long, it's because there's something that resonate with you, and I would love to have you come join the family. But if you think that this video will help someone else, like set boundaries, I struggled with that. I used to lead the recovery ministry. And one of the things that I did also is I led a Bible study on boundaries and healing is a choice, and wonderful books that today I need to go back to those lessons. In therapy, my last therapist, she was like, you need to dust off your boundary book, and you need to reread it. I went, ouch, right? It's hard to set boundaries. It's hard to have those uncomfortable conversations, but we need them. We need them to be able to have peace of mind and to fully show up for the people that need it the most. The people of California, again, are in need of an advocate to be able to go through their policy, to be able to see what the insurance company has paid them and what is left on that policy, and to help them collect all of their money so that they don't get burned twice, right? That is my job. That is my God-given call. I love what Dr. Tracy Lynn says is businessry. So it's business and it's ministry. Being able for me to show up for them, I need to be able to have peace of mind. I need to be able to set boundaries so that I need to show up for myself so that I can show up for others. I love you. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and let me know, what wisdom do you want me to do content about, right? I have a lot to say about a lot of different things, whether it's fitness, whether it's ministry, whether it's business, whether it's just lessons to grandkids. Like, let me know what's important to you, and I'll make content around that. I have a lot to say, and I have a big mouth. I'm bold and hopefully composed and hopefully a little bit holy. And I love to connect with you. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.